Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, guys. You have got to fucking listen to this shit.
Hold on a second.
No, fuck you.
Wait.
Fuck you. Don't you fucking tell me to wait.
God damn it.
Why? What's happening?
No, I don't know. I just was going to say we're at 199 followers, man. Jesus. We're at 199 followers on fucking Facebook. And if somebody gets to 200 in the middle of this episode, I'll fucking squeeze Dustin's nipples. No,
we also have a Patreon now.
You can
if you fucking give us money, like, I'll do anything. I'll do anything for you.
Jesus Christ.
Anything.
So I was going to say, you also said it. We have a Patreon now, so that's cool.
Yeah,
we have a Patreon.
That's cool.
So there are different tiers if you want to check it out. Once we get, we're gonna start videos soon. It should be sometime this week. Actually, that's when we're waiting for our. We're getting a couple of microphones. I have a great microphone, but we're getting a couple of ones that are better for podcasting that we want to use.
Yeah.
When those get here, we'll be converting to video. Oh shit!
Fucking video.
Yeah,
we'll be on like, because right now we're on like YouTube, we're on everything. Yeah. We're gonna be on Pornhub very soon.
We are, yeah. We're not with any. There's no girls. It's just
it's just
porn.
us. It'll be like two dudes fuck your ears
with like raw sound,
unfiltered, uncensored, face reveal,
raw uncensored sound. Yeah, that's good stuff. So we have a Patreon. We're Immoral Mortals, obviously. So you could find us on there, and we have some fucking awesome tiers. If you're crazy, if you subscribe for the regular $5, which it's only $5 for 1 month, and you can cancel at any time. So you should definitely, if you want to support us,
you should do it.
That'd be awesome. And with that, you get a bonus episode every time a new episode comes out. We're going to start doing that as soon as we convert to video, so you'll have an archive of the bonus episodes on there and shit. And then for the higher tiers, you get you can control the bonus content, like what we talk about. You can control the topic. For $1,000, you can get your name tattooed on me. No joke, I swear to God.
He will literally do it.
I will do it.
He's very adamant about doing it, so
and
he
Dustin
will do it.
a dance that he will post to TikTok wearing anything that you want him to. Anything at all. Anything. Dude, so that reminds me of I don't know, do you ever have like a doctor that has like a really good bedside manner?
The fuck what are you talking about, bro? Hold on.
Wait, no.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like you were
explain yourself.
You're whispering, so you you ever have did you ever have like a doctor, and you know what bedside man, like they're like, hey, you're just gonna lay back for me.
No, bro.
Just fucking lay back. Just gonna lay back and just let me do my thing. Yeah. Just fucking. That's good. And I don't know.
he puts his finger up to your lips, like,
and they say it's comforting, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I just kind of find it uncomfortable.
I did have a doctor. You know how they do that thing where they put that like stick in your throat, kind of like they fucking like
they jam some hardwood down your
like he was like, I did it, and he's like, wow, you're really good at this. I'm like, God damn it. He's like, fuck me,
open wide.
He's like, you got a talent, boy.
He's like, all right, now extend your tongue, open your mouth a little more. Get that right in there. Yeah,
get it there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways.
I don't know. So here we are.
So I went through some crazy shit. So this episode is going to be a little bit magic focused because, as some of you may or may not know, I am a professional magician. Technically, I'm known as a mentalist, but that's like the bougie way of just saying you're a magician that does like mind reading. Yeah, it's just very bougie. So, however, I recently went through a huge scandal, a fucking giant magic scandal that Scandalous. It should be a fucking Netflix series. So basically, let me start you off. So there was this company. Okay, I'm not gonna name the company, but they were a company that was like an official company that was selling magic products to magicians. Now, I caught wind of this company. They started like posting on social media, and they had this product that sounded really fucking cool. Like as a mentalist, like it was the dream tool you could use in your shows. Like the most amazing advanced technology shit I've ever seen.
What was it?
Well, I can't fucking tell you everything that it does. All right,
you're like there's this thing, but I can't.
Yeah, it's just super awesome. All right, that's all. That's all you have to know is super awesome. It was expensive.
It was a dildo, wasn't it?
It was a fucking dildo. No, so it was this great thing, and everyone was like, "This is fucking great. This is awesome." And so all of these like famous magicians and mentalists, they started like talking about it too, and they got one, and they were like, "Yo, this is crazy." And I was like, all right. I was getting kind of, I was doing a lot of shows back before this whole pandemic hit. Yeah. So I had the money. I was like, let's do this. Let's go. So I got it. And it took a few months. Like, it wasn't coming in there. I wasn't getting much contact from them. So I felt a little sketched out. So immediately from the beginning, I was a little sketched out. I was like, all right, I don't know. I mean, I can trust them because they worked with some top names in the magic community. I was like, all right, I can go with this. So I emailed them, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, we're just having some issues sending it to you, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Eventually, it came, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And it fucking came. And I got the, like, lowest tier version of this thing. It was, like, the cheaper one, but it was still, like, $2,000. So I got it. Yeah. So I got it, and they actually sent me the highest tiered one. And they were like, yo, I'm sorry that, like, this came late. But so like, here's the good one.
Oh,
and I was like, wow, that's really nice of you. Like, thank you so much.
That's pretty, it's pretty raw.
Yeah, like it was really nice. So I was happy with it until I realized it was defective. It did everything it said it could do, but the product itself was like, well, all right, so let me explain. It's really fucking hard to explain without telling you what it was.
I was like, this is so vague, bro.
It's so fucking vague.
It did everything. It penetrated me.
You could ever want. I don't... Anything in your wildest fantasies it could do. So it was a clipboard, right? It was a wooden clipboard.
Oh, okay.
That's all it was. So the clipboard itself...
You're like, yeah, clip the paper to the top of the fucking thing.
Fucking crazy,
like,
bro.
I wrote on it. I don't know.
Yeah, like, it was fucking great.
But then...
So it started to peel away. Like, the clipboard itself, the wood started to, like, peel away, like, from the sides. It was like, very defective. So I emailed them, and I told them this.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, shit, okay. Like, send it back. Like, we'll take care of it. So I'm like, okay.
Am I right in thinking, like, there's something special about the like, it's not just a clipboard, right?
No, it's just a fucking clipboard, dude.
No, like... but
nah, dude, it's just a $2,000 clipboard.
It doesn't do anything. Really nice. It's all,
yeah, it was just velvet. It looked beautiful.
It was made of marble,
Italian marble. No, so it was just a really cool clipboard. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Don't try to get my secrets out of me. Like, you're trying, bro. So, anyways, this thing, it started to get defective, and I sent it back, and I had the tracking information. I sent that to him. So fast forward like a couple weeks later, and I haven't gotten any response. So I was like, "Hey, did you guys get my, get the board? Like, is everything good?" Now, keep in mind there were two people in this company. Okay. There was a guy named Simon, and there was a guy named Mark. And they were both part of this company, like two halves of the company. Now, there was this other guy named Justin, and all he did was he would market it and kind of like sell it to you and almost be like the customer service side of things.
Sure.
So I was also in contact with him, and, I didn't really know who he was, but he was like kind of helping out, and he was like, oh, they'll get it to you, blah, blah, blah. So I messaged them, like, hey, did you get my board? I didn't get any response. Fast forward a little bit later. Mm-hmm. And I messaged them again and say, hey, it's been a while. I'm just wondering if you guys have gotten my board. I sent it to the address you listed, which was an address, by the way, they're based out of the UK. So it was like a London address.
Okay.
So I sent it to that. And, the Mark replies and he says, hey, we got your board. We just have to rehouse it, which makes no sense because you don't know what it is, but they have to fix it. They have to rehouse it. They have to do whatever he has to do with a new process to it. So they should be able to do that, and then they can release it. I was like, okay. Fast forward even more.
There's a lot of fast forwarding.
Oh, yeah, it is. A lot of waiting.
I don't have my VCR on me.
Oh, that was corny as
Dad
fuck, bro.
jokes.
You get the fuck out of here with that shit. No. So listen, so Mark messages me later without me messaging, and he says, "Hey, did you get your board?" And I said, "No, like I'm still waiting. Did you fix it?" And he's like, "Oh, well, Simon has your board." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean? Like I've tried messaging, like I emailed Simon before, he never answered." And he's like, "Yeah, he has it." So I'm like, "Okay." So now I'm talking to this Justin dude, and this Justin dude's like, "Hey, Simon left the company and he stole all this money.
All the boards.
Took all the boards." Yeah, he did. He said that. He's like, he took all the boards. He stole all the money from the company. It's a huge thing right now. You just have to.
He's running around. He's killing people in London. I don't know.
Yeah, he said he left the country, whatever, yada yada yada. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like, all right. So I go back to Mark and I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, I just want my money back. Like, I heard that Simon left the company and he has more, and you guys haven't really been communicating. Mm-hmm. So then Mark he unloads on me. He's like, listen, because I was like, I'm gonna go public with this because I need something. I need my board or money or something.
Sure.
And he's like, listen, before you go public, make sure you know all the facts. He's like, listen, you don't know anything. Like Simon, I have court cases on him. I'm trying to pursue him in court. We have nothing. I don't have your board, or else I would have given it to you. And we don't have any money. And I was like, okay, what? All right. So I'm kind of arguing with him. And he basically tells me that Simon he's a con man, a scammer. He left the company with everything, took everything from him, and that Mark was going to help me get everything back. He was going to get me a board eventually. He was going to give me money, whatever.
So shout out to Simon. Nice job.
Yeah. Well, listen. So this is where things get really interesting. So that all happened, and then fast forward again until just recently, about a few days ago. Oh, okay. I was sitting here and I was like, this is bullshit. I need I can't sit here and wait for Mark to eventually get after this pandemic, have everything he needs. I just want my money back. And so I decided to try to contact Simon again.
Yeah.
So before I was contacting him via email, their company email.
So this guy stole all the money and ran away, and you were like, I gotta talk to this. I gotta talk.
Yeah,
to
bro,
him.
Literally.
Let's see what he's up to.
I was like, what's this guy doing? Come
you're
on.
Like,
let's have a one.
You're like, could you give me one of the boards? And just
literally, I won't tell anyone. Just fucking help me out here. So I contact him because I tried contacting him before via email, right?
Yeah.
So I recently tried emailing again, but it was email, not found. And also there was a Facebook group, but I realized I was no longer in the Facebook group. And I was like, what the fuck? They blocked me? And then I found out from another magician that he also couldn't see the Facebook group. So apparently they deleted it. They blocked people, all that good shit.
Okay, sure.
So I eventually messaged Simon directly on Facebook. I said, Simon, I'm going to open a dispute against you and my credit card company as you took my board and my money. Before I do that, I'm giving you a chance to refund me the money yourself before I go public with it.
Okay.
All right. So that was that was just me being out in the open, being like, yo, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And he was like, hi, Dustin. I don't know what Marx has told you, but I am no longer anything to do with the company anymore, and Mark has your board to replace.
He's like, I don't have any of the boards. Mark's a double agent.
Yeah, literally. So now he's like, I don't have it. Mark has it. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. One more, if they do this.
You went back and you're like, you fucking lied to me, you piece of shit.
That is what I said. I literally, not like that, but I did say nah, man. I actually started the message saying, nah, man.
Nah, bro.
I was like, bro, I know everything.
Nah,
so he's
man.
So then he's like, if you think you know everything, you don't know anything. So now.
Because you won't fucking tell me anything, you piece of shit.
Literally. So now he called me. He called me and spoke to me over the phone.
Yeah.
And
it was actually like two dwarves wearing a trench coat the whole time.
The whole time. Just the whole fucking thing. No, so he called me and he's like, listen, mate, listen. Nah, I can't do the fucking accent, but that's how he started, right?
Everybody in the UK
They're
now
fucking
is
mad.
Wow.
We just lost our whole UK audience.
We have a 2% UK audience.
I know. We just lost
Who's
them,
that?
bro.
What's that one
it's
person?
Over. Yeah, probably.
That one
it's probably
UK.
Simon. It's fucking Simon.
That one UK guy is that is the worst fucking accent.
It's fucking Mark and Simon. They're the ones listening.
Yeah.
No, so he calls me and he's like, he started laying out almost exactly what he said the same things that Mark said about him. And he's like, Mark left the fucking country. He went to Poland. He took all the boards and the money. He stole my laptop. He like said his car was stolen, but it wasn't stolen. It was actually repossessed. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
If this were a movie, okay, I'm going to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You tell me if this were a movie, what would happen is like they were both actually still working together the whole time and just like sending you in different directions, back and forth, and then
exactly, bro. That is exactly what it feels like. That they.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that is what happened. I was like, I fucking knew it.
I don't fucking know, but that probably is exactly because like Simon went to the point where he's like, Mark is so fucking psychopathic that I'm positive that he would murder someone if he had the chance.
Jesus
and I was like, whoa, all right. This is getting intense. Like I felt like here I am. I'm just buying a fucking magic product, and I caught myself into the middle of this.
They're like,
the biggest scandal I've ever heard in my life.
He's part of the Russian mob. Okay,
he's like, listen, they're gonna come after you. I was like, what do you mean? Bro, yeah, so I went through this whole thing and just listening to it for like an hour, he's like, I have footage of him breaking into our studio and stealing all the equipment. He has everything. He's selling them independently to people.
You're like, yeah, send me the footage.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, yeah,
see what you got there. What you just send me the footage there.
Bro, literally, like, and then I learned from that Justin guy I was talking about earlier. He's like, no, Mark has the footage of Simon going in and stealing it. And I'm like, bro, I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore about either of you. I don't give a fuck about your products. I just want my money back. So basically I went to my credit card company and they actually did give me the money back so far.
Like,
so that's exciting.
That's cool. Yeah.
So basically the lesson is that magicians
are
fucked up.
This is the lesson. I thought that story was going to have an ending. It's just open-ended.
No,
like
it's still open. It's still like, I don't know what the fuck's it like.
It's still happening.
Someone's going to murder someone at some point.
Did you try like Googling them and like?
No, because see, here's the problem. Here's the biggest problem. As magicians, we keep everything so fucking secret that, like, we can get away, like, that's what can happen, these fucking scandals. It's literally like the Tiger King of fucking magic. Like, it's so fucking weird and niche that, like, no one knows about it or cares about it.
Fuck.
So, yeah, that's the
all
way it goes.
All over a fucking clipboard.
All over a fucking clipboard, bro.
$2,000 Italian marble clipboard. He's had to have fucking Michelangelo himself make him a clipboard.
Literally, yeah. So it's still open-ended.
I'm going to watch, and all your magic performances, I'm going to be watching your clipboard really close now. Now that you told me that.
Well, I don't fucking have it, so you'll never see it. Bro, yeah, like the credit card lady. I had to like talk to a credit card lady over the phone, and she's like, this is some crazy shit. She's like, what the fuck?
She's like, what do you mean? That's well, fuck you. Now you have to let us know, like, if anything else happens.
Yeah, like
we're gonna see it like on the news. Like, there's a fucking 3-way shootout between Justin, Mark, and Simon in the fucking London Causeway.
Magic scandal. Fuck, dude. Yeah, literally. Oh my god. So I'm just glad for now it's kind of over for me because I'm getting my money back.
Dude, you should give me his email. I'm gonna be like, hey, where? Do you have my clipboard? I'm actually about to open a lawsuit.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it got real weird, like the things they were saying about each other. Eventually, Simon was like, Mark has like 3 kids, but he doesn't watch any of them, and he's like, he ran away to Poland to be with some other girl, and I was like, what? At this point, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what are you? I don't want to know anything about this at all. At any point, I just want to fucking know where my money is.
What's the Polish? You should have been like, what's the Polish girl's name? I'll ask her. She's like, Justin.
Yeah, let's contact her. Justin has it. This whole time it was Justin. He has everything.
He's the mastermind. All right. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, no, you go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say, since this is a magic-oriented episode, we have a special guest.
Yeah, we do have a very special guest today. Yeah. Speaking of magic scandals. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't part of any scandal. No, but like this fucker right here.
So it's Chris Michael.
Chris Mike Magic. He made sure to say not Chris Magic Mike. Because he's not a stripper.
Chris Magic.
He's not a stripper. Chris Mike Magic, who recently, he's going extremely viral on social media. He's doing a lot of crazy things on live, Instagram Live, and he's kind of blowing up right now.
But when you get the chance, You should also check out Chris Magic Mike because he's pretty good too. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely we did get a nice interview with Chris, and you guys gotta take a listen.
Yeah, here it is.
So, Chris, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Chris Clarelli, but everybody out there on the planet knows me as Chris Michael. Chris Clarelli was just super hard to pronounce for most people for whatever reason. So, like, to the point where people just started calling me spaghetti because it sounded Italian. So I was like, all right.
Close. It's close.
It's like, we're going to change this. So Chris Michael is what I'm known by. I'm a professional magician. I always separated magician and comedian because my online content is more like comedy oriented. And I'm a consultant for shows like America's Got Talent, Penn and Teller Fool Us, and like a YouTuber as well. So a lot of little things that I do, but really it's all based on being a magician.
Sure.
Very cool. Very cool. So recently, you kind of went somewhat viral, right? Like you just started getting a ton of followers and views, and I imagine you worked really hard to do that. So what has that been like, or what, how has that been?
It's weird because I set this goal. I was like, you know what? I do, just like I mentioned, I do all this stuff behind the scenes for shows like, I mentioned America's Got Talent, Penn and Teller Fool Us, but I've also worked for like The Walking Dead and some other bigger productions, but everything Very cool. do is behind the scenes. So as a consultant, I'm giving the people who are in the spotlight the ideas, which in like, The Walking Dead and set shows, obviously I don't mind, but when it comes to like America's Got Talent or things like that, I'm building a career for somebody based on their creativity, but a lot of the time it's really my creativity. And so, and that's not really fair because a lot of the time it's a mixed bag. It's mostly them and a little bit of me. But
sure,
I decided, I would love to be in the spotlight. I do I do shows myself, and I really want to be able to let people know that, hey, I've got just as much credibility as some of these bigger guys. You just don't see it. And so I was like, if I can hit 30,000 followers on Instagram and do it in 30 days, because who knows how long Corona is going to be happening. Like if 30 days is a safe bet. I was like, okay, 30K in 30 days sounds cool. Let's do it. And I hit that number, and I thought my life would change. But you know what? I woke up that day the exact same way. But what was different was the same things I was doing at 3,000 followers that like people would message me and be like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I do that exact same bit now, and people think I'm a genius. I think it's just like
nice.
Like the eyeballs creates that credibility, so people think it's smarter than it really is. But
I mean, does it like snow? I heard it like snowballs. Like once you start getting followers and views, then it all just kind of like snowballs from there. Do you find it's like easier now to get more views, or is it like the same amount of hard work, coming up with content and everything?
This is a super good question. I thought about this morning, not even knowing you were going to ask this. So I feel very ungrateful because sometimes I go to bed and I wake up and I'm like, what? Only 200 followers overnight? Whereas like,
yeah.
If I were to get 200 followers overnight, like a month ago, I would have freaked out. You know what I mean? So
right.
I guess in that aspect, it's easier. The numbers are definitely exponential.
Yeah.
The amount of effort you put in doesn't change per se, but you definitely get better at knowing what works. So you're doing less of the stuff that, before it was 18 hours a day, only 6 of those hours really yield something. Now it's 18 hours a day, but every bit of those 18 hours is on something I know will work,
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So Isaiah,
you want me to start it off?
Yeah. Why don't you start?
Okay. Go ahead. So how does magic online differ from in person? Would you say? Would you say it makes it easier or harder in certain aspects, or is it balanced?
Yeah. So in some ways it's easier, but you're definitely like seeing like it's a lot easier for people to say it's a camera trick or like CGI. Like even on Instagram Lives, which you can't edit that, but I'll like swallow a balloon or something crazy, and then like people in the comments are like, "Nah, he just edited it." You're like, "What?" Like I just risked my life for you. Are you joking? But in the other ways, like because it's a more controlled environment, like you can really take some serious shortcuts. I could have something that I would have to set up sneakily on stage in front of a million people. Now I could just literally set it up like off camera. No one sees a thing,
Right.
Right. And I feel like it's probably you got to find the balance of that, like how how much do you take advantage of it? How much do you not? Things like
Yeah,
that.
and I can like scratch myself while performing now, and it's great. No one knows.
You don't even have to wear pants half the time. So that's
I
cool.
don't actually.
So it's easier in terms of like executing it, but more difficult in the fact that some people think you're less credible because you might be editing footage.
Yeah, there's a trick I do in my live show where there's a table and it floats around. I take a bubble out of the air, the bubble becomes solid, place it in this box on the table, and the table starts to float around the theater, on the stage and everything. When you see it in person, it's incredible. It's insane. People talk about it for months. Like it's this magical feeling. Even if people agree to believe it's not CGI and care, so for some reason it just isn't as cool. Like, okay,
Right.
A table's floating around in his room. It's like I don't know. I can't put words to why that doesn't have the impact that it does, but
Right.
I don't know. There's definitely something with that video that makes it less.
So I guess
amazing.
like seeing is believing. I guess even more so in person.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I guess so. Like, David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear, and
Yeah.
people who were there in person really saw it, but I think people
Right.
watched the footage afterwards. There's no way it was the same appeal.
Right.
Right. Do you think that social media brings us closer together or further away socially? Which is a really interesting, deep question.
Like does it discourage people from like having actual social interaction? Is that what that?
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
like, how does it change the connections of people? Like now, so in Magic, do you feel like you're closer to your audience or farther away?
You know what? I think this really depends on who you are as a person. I think there's a lot of people out there that use social media as a crutch or a way to avoid social interaction.
Yeah.
But for me, I've always used it in addition to or to benefit my real social interaction. Like, as weird as this is, like, I feel so much closer to the people who follow me and my audience than I ever did when I wasn't doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I guess because everything I do in service for them. But even my friends, there's a magician. I just follow the hashtag magic.
Yeah.
Wow, what a shock. And I just, by the way, weird stuff in there. Like every
bet.
pill that comes out always has hashtag magic on it. But anyway,
Hashtag.
so there's a buddy of mine who I saw. He's just doing this stuff. No idea where he was from. He wasn't my buddy at the time. And I ended up seeing him tag his post as being in Virginia Beach. And I went, what? That's an hour and a half away from me. So I ended up running into him in person, not even planned. But that relationship was so strong because I'd seen his stuff on social media. And the same thing when I run into people at Target or Walmart who follow me, like, friends from high school and middle school that have no business knowing what I've been up to. It's like we never missed a beat, and that's so cool to me. So
That
for
is
me,
cool.
it's been a benefit, but I definitely could see how people use it as a crutch.
Right. Okay, so what advice would you give to somebody trying to be viral, so to speak, not just in magic, but in any field at all?
Yeah, I've really figured this one out recently. There's two parts to this. One, you're going to hear from everybody and their mother, which is be authentic, be genuine.
Yep.
Like, there's, and let me give you some real tips on how you can do that, because anybody can say that, but like, sometimes you feel like you're being you when you're not. I thought me was me, but it was really this character. A really good way to test this is get on an Instagram live or make a video, and every time you feel like you're about to filter yourself or say, I shouldn't say that, or I should word this differently, don't. Just say it the way that yeah. Like, for instance, for me, like
Nice.
a great
That's good
example is
advice.
the scratching myself joke. Like, I literally was about to say, I was like, I probably shouldn't say that. I was like, you know what, whatever, let it
You're
fly.
like,
So
screw it.
yeah, and I'm still learning. It's not as natural for me as it probably will be, but it's a hell of a lot more natural now than it was a month ago. Like,
Right.
just you and your thoughts and your authenticity. When people hear you saying things, that's what's really going to attract people to you, is watching somebody that has no filter. Doesn't mean it have to be inappropriate. Just like when you feel an opinion about something, or you feel, there's a joke there or whatever, like, let it go and show who you truly are. That's what people crave. The second part of that,
Hell yeah.
Very good.
you've got to mobilize your audience. So you've got to turn them. This is why people call their fans armies, because they've done this successfully. So whether you have 100 people who follow you or 10,000 people who follow you, and you're looking to grow, just start asking people to serve you in a way, and I'll always return that value. So like when I first started, I'd post a video, I would DM it to 50 people, because I think that's the most Instagram would let me send it to at a time. So
yeah.
I'd send it to 50 people. I would just say, hey, do you have 30 seconds to like and comment on this? Would really appreciate it. Happy to return the favor. So in the beginning, of course I was giving that value back, 50 at a time, it's liking, commenting their stuff, which you don't always have to give back. I just felt like for me it was the right thing to do because I didn't feel my self-worth was there yet. But anyway, of course, so you get 50 comments, 50 likes right away as soon as you make that post. Instagram goes, whoa, this is performing way better than their other post with 10 comments and 100 likes. It really does show up in Instagram. Do that for 3 or 4 posts and use the right hashtags. Notice that people are going to start to notice your traction. And Instagram and YouTube and all this other stuff will too. So keep that in mind. And then the other thing you do is you're building these habits for people. So, send it to them for 3 or 4 posts. Now they feel that they've served you in a way that next time they see your post, they're like, oh, he probably wants me to like and comment this. And they'll do it out of their own accord as opposed to you just telling them. Yeah. So, you want to build that, you're conditioning your followers to engage with your stuff. Like I might really like a post but not comment on it because I don't feel like it. Like, what is that going to do? But when I have somebody telling me, hey, like this genuinely helps, and they can see the growth from it, and you reply to their comment, you like their comment, you give them that dopamine, that's really going to help. Can I say one more thing on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, this is all fresh in my mind, so talking about it is helping me. Like, I'm writing the textbook for myself. So the big thing is you need to use social media. For instance, for me, like right now, is TikTok and Instagram. They should be used as like a dopamine factory. Make everybody who engages with your stuff feel good. Whether you comment back or send them a DM, just say, hey, thanks for commenting. They're so much more likely to do it than if they just took a shot and it went to the void and nothing came from it. Right. Let them know that you're acknowledging they're doing it.
So interaction is a big key.
Yeah, the social part of social media. Like, if you do the social part, social media goes, yep, that's what we're about. Boost this guy.
Right. All right, yeah. Who is... or what, it can be what or who is your biggest inspiration?
In general?
Yeah, just in life.
I've got a few. Somebody who really kicked my butt into gear was Gary V. I know he's beloved and hated, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gotcha, yeah.
I've really hated the dude for like years. It's like, this guy, why is he doing this? He's making all these rah, like, go get up and do something with your life posts, and I hated it. And then the more I watched his growth, the more I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody who follows him, who follows his advice is really doing it. And then I realized, like, oh, maybe I didn't like this guy because what I don't like about him is just who he is. And that I fell in love with the ability for him to show himself and be authentic, like we were talking about earlier. So
yeah.
He's a big inspiration. And then I guess the other one, Barry Friedman, who's he used to be a juggler of all things, and he's like a big entertainment coach. Just the way he looks out on life and the way he speaks, like every time you listen to him talk, it makes me have a dilemma in a good way. So
right.
And it's crazy because like some people you never expect that from. It's like always it doesn't matter what profession they have or what they do. It's just what kind of person they are. Some people have that really like vibrant, intelligent, kind of insightful personality.
Yeah, and some people are so profound. I think on accident, my friend Cameron Braxton, give him a shout out. He'll be happy to hear this. Every time I'm going to say something that I feel like he can't relate to, I'm like, he's never been through this. His advice is always like the exact thing that somebody who's been doing it for years with a deep understanding of what I'm saying would tell me. And it's like, damn it, dude.
Where does that
How
come
come you're
from?
like 10 for 0? Can't you just lose one?
What was his name?
Cameron Braxton.
Cameron Braxton. Shout out to Cameron Braxton. He'll watch it. Or listen.
I'll send it to him.
Yeah.
Now that I mentioned him, he will. People are vain.
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah,
next?
you can go. You can take a turn.
Oh, okay. I get a turn. All right. If you had this is a strange question. If you had real magic powers, what's the number one thing you would do?
Oh, dude, I think about this all the time. I would be able to. I would just use magic to do something that should be natural, which is fix my metabolism, bro. I would just like crush some Arby's.
That is a genius idea,
dude. Because I don't care about this other stuff. Like I can work to gain money and like okay, I could go invisible, like whatever. That'll be fun for a day. But then it's like getting 30,000 followers. Like okay, this is just my life. I can just do this now. But the one thing that will never stop feeling good because we're built to make it feel good is food.
Right.
And like I'm in no means like obviously like like incredibly out of shape or anything, but dude, I want to be. I want to eat like if I didn't have to take care of myself, dude, I would be driving to Arby's and Sonic and freaking killing it, dude. Man, I would love that.
That is the best answer. That just blew my mind. Like I never thought of that, but now that's what I want to do.
Dude, definitely. I live next to the biggest Arby's in the world. Like it's 30 minutes from my house.
Nice.
And like I just found out about this yesterday, and if I could just kill some
Eat there
beef and cheddar
all day.
Like I don't even care what it looks like coming out the other end. Like you don't even have to fix that. Just let me not be fat, dude.
All right, man.
I feel like if I had superpowers, I would be evil. Like
you. Okay, all right. You just took that.
It's like the temptation is just
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Like me eating so much would only be to fuel my dictatorial. What's the word?
To fuel my dick. No.
Oh, no.
I was like, whoa, all right.
Hey, no filter. That's good. That's authentic.
Yeah, he's learning. That's perfect. All right, I think that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for being on this show. Is there anything else you wanted to say real quick to all of our immoral mortal followers?
Yeah, man. Actually, yeah, this is a great example. Don't listen to what I say. Watch what I do. Go give me a follow on either TikTok or Instagram. I just started TikTok literally today. So
nice.
Instagram, YouTube, it's all Chris Mike, like Mike, Magic, not Magic Mike, Chris Mike Magic. I'd love for you guys
Mike Magic.
Yeah, shoot me a DM if you follow me, and I'll give you a huge thank you. It'd mean a lot.
All right,
absolutely,
shout out to Chris.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
Yeah, thank
thanks.
you.
Bonus points to Isaiah for the deep voice.
Oh yeah, thank you. I am a voice actor.
Get it, boy.
So.
He is a voice actor.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not that means I have to have a deep voice, but
it just so happens you also have a deep voice.
It just so happens to, yes. Alrighty. Thanks, man.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
Guys, I really appreciate that.